No, World City. World City really needs to be built at Whyalla. I mean, Euclid was a bit of a dream to build a city. Certainly something could be done with Euclid though, like in the future. But we got to stop murdering everyone. We got to survive down here. The whole economy falls apart when everyone starts killing each other. I mean, you can always argue and say the Great Renaissance period was after the Black Plague had wiped everybody out. But that was bound to happen anyway. If they were thriving, it would have been even better without the plague. We would have had a lot better variety. The change, all it did was wipe out a whole lot of the fucking knobs that were in power, with a stranglehold on everything. But Whyalla, we've got the steel industry there, the concrete's not too far. The main ingredient, steel and concrete. We've got iron knobs, just, tons of metal there. Copper's not too far away. Whyalla would be the perfect location for a 500-kilometre square mile city. At least 500 million Chinese. We want to empty China so they can just breed up again, because they're so good at surviving and thriving. I mean, before they got to this world, there was 400 million years of evolution. They never had a serious war once like we did. They just thrived. Now, of course, they had their, problems like we've got ours. Scuffles in families, man's enemies to his own family and whole household, like, they weren't perfect either. It was a pity, but the gene strain, the same gene after 400 million years started a lot of inbreeding diseases, and that's why they were brought here deliberately, so they could mix with God's with their variations on God's creations anyway, and the nanotechnology side of it. You see, Buddha is really not Buddha. He's like God would say on Muhammad, just for the sake of meeting someone where they're at. If they had his laws written in their heart, like a lot of them have. But World City could be really an exciting adventure, something the whole world can focus on it, and it gives a bit of a hope. Anyone has to go on about the goddamn greenhouse effect and shit, like all this carbon dioxide is making the world. It's not even what it was causing the problem. It's because they keep blowing the fucking world up and the orbit's getting closer to the sun. It's 23,000 miles shorter every time they destroy a world. And you think, that's not a very long, it's not a very long distance considering just how far we travel in an orbit. But it adds up. They got to stop blowing the world to pieces every time God tries to get to it, because they don't want to go to hell or something. There's some fucking pathetic, selfish reason always. We had this trouble with powers in space. Now mankind's doing it to itself. They're just sitting back saying suckers. But back to World City, and it's got its own currency, and so where's the money come from? We print the money based on how much the city's worth in 100 years' time. And then we take a loan from its future value We print and we don't tax anyone else's money in the world because it's got its own world city money, and it's not based on the same strength and weakness like the rest of our money is. It's based on being in the middle between strong, regardless of how strong it is or how weak it is. It always remains stable in the middle of all the other currencies. So the weak have a closer access to it, and the rich have an advantage as well. And it will stabilise. A lot of people want a stable dollar to put money into. They don't want it fluctuating so they can, estimate and do things properly. And that would be good for a lot of the world economics for the first time, to have just one stable currency. I mean, we could have 2 million Mexicans, but the thing is, we can't build it on the same injustices. We can't have all these imbalances of pornography, so there's sick fucking things happening to kids everywhere and all over the place, and adults, and the whole fucking sickness that goes with pornography restriction. We can't have drug wars and all the the injustice that, you have to be a fucking alcoholic hypocrite to live, because a whole bunch of puffed doctors say you can't have something. They've ruined it for us from the start, taking our drugs away that we need, special drugs. Ones that would give you visions of heavens like you couldn't believe, and then they were just seeing things and hearing things. They were crazy people, and they were murdered and fucking extorted. And the Bible specifically says, focus on what's in heaven, but as soon as you do, you're persecuted like you're a fucking lunatic and fucking driven into hell. World City, you will find the unification of all the different religions and its similarities to where God is and what God requires out of us. The Buddhists, the Krishnas, Krishna's, what he really looks like is he's got a head of a cow and a body of a man. And he's got hands, and he doesn't have, there's not much of a relationship between a cow and Krishna. They're just similarities in head, the appearance of the head. They've actually got kind of moose-type antelopes. I know the king, I had a little Krishna friend, and I got a fragment of his soul when I got him up there. It was the king's advisor and friend. There was a special Krishna that I knew, someone I just took a liking to. But World City could offer so much. Just imagine how it's going to be a giant twin tower, like a whole 400-kilometre city, like twin towers. Like it's going to do something real positive. We don't have to worry about overpopulation for another fucking 200 or 300 years, and by then, if we can be sane enough and responsible enough, we'll be able to get off the planet to establish some other planet, a place, and start again there. But we have nowhere near conquered the frontiers of the earth yet. God provides it when we need it in time. Love and necessity. Even if God fell over and dropped dead, love and necessity is there. Not that he's going to do that, I'm just saying. He could be preoccupied. And after 50 years of people planting trees and parks and all this stuff, and even some of the carbon dioxide effects and shit, it's going to bring rain. It's going to bring rain. It's going to get not so hot in the day, not so cold at night. And And we've got the technology. Some things are going to be expensive to start off with, like water. We don't have to shower and wash as much as we do. It's a luxury, really. World City has always been my dream for years. Of course, eventually, everyone with so many languages, I think English, I mean French is a bit, they had to be so domineering for years, you know, French is all the, what have they got, fucking Canada. I think they rule the world. Down to the fucking pommy cunts, fucking French, and they're fucking 100 fucking atomic bombs they tested there, right next to North Queensland. Polluted all our milk and produce, and that's why they did it. Jealous fucking cunts, because we had good produce. America does it to Adelaide because of our wine. Dumps all their fucking shit here. And they didn't dump it out in the country where to wreck our grapes. They dumped it in the poorhouse and built all these poorhouses over it for housing trusts. Someone I know dug a 2 foot deep hole, hit some concrete, chipped it out and found all this black, horrible stuff in it. Can't put it in my drink. I was spewed my guts off. I was sick as fuck. All these fucking people have to test guy. If there's a guard, you know, he'll tell me I was going to do this, and God won't. He'll watch you drop dead rather than tell you. Don't ask me why he does that, but if they come back here, this place is fucked, you know, and it's nothing there. I couldn't get if I dropped dead for something like that. I was like, oh God, I'm up here now. Look at these cunts down here who say fucking idiots always want proof. As soon as they get proof, they're more dangerous than what they are before they had it. World City. You know, we got thousands of miles of dirt, and where's the food come from? You know, we're in the worst surviving. Like, do we all have to live this? We've got to kill everyone so we can keep this piglet fucking lifestyle, like the fucking pommies. No, with all their taxes, and you'd have a couple of sheep, you'd have a few chickens. That's all you got to live on. And they'll come and take fucking half of them for tax and then tell you can't even go hunting because they own all the fucking forests. Because there's too many people in the world. We're running around with bows and arrows and they're fucking killing everyone for too many people in the world. It's been a fucking excuse for too many years. To a whole lot of lazy fucking people that are getting money to do jobs they fucking incompetent at doing. As fucking kings, queens, prime ministers and fucking leaders. Fucking tax. Fucking pommy land this is. I must have been a convict out here at some stage. I know they would have had me for smoking cigarettes. I was a too honest clerk. They were after me. I was busting too many people into fucking shady fucking under the table deals in fucking politics and sent me out for fucking smoking cigarettes, the filth bags. That's when the Black Plague did break out. Once again, it was a lack of air defence. Fucking England. Maybe Hitler was right when he kept Einstein and got the bomb. He wiped the whole lot of them out. He said, I'll keep fucking Europe. It's enough for me for a while until the radiation settles down. Wiped out China, Japan, hit them all, and basically one hit, kept it a secret and fucking hit them all at once. Bang, 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 Africa, every other fucking nation. All he wanted was Aaron, blonde, blue eyes. And then he got it, he's king. God said, this is the only life he's got left. He lost infinite lives for one he got left. I don't know why he had a soft spot for him. Could have wiped out a lot of these fucking rich doctors and fucking stupid fucking Jews blowing their fucking traditional Moses fucking wank brainwash shit idea of how it all's supposed to be. And the only reason why God gave us those laws in the first place, so we wouldn't. Everyone's running around killing each other. Whose bitch they're fucking, so I said, oh, we better marry them, see if that works. And then they start killing each other for committing adultery. Fuck. Thou shalt not kill. For some reason, they never read that bit in the Ten Commandments. It's not a contradiction. It's a law. They turned the law into a contradiction. Thou shalt not commit adultery, let's kill them. Moses, 300 years, Moses kept losing chunks of his soul till he finally lost his life. And this is the cost of blaspheme. It was either him or God. And when Moses lost his life in the desert with God, that was the end of the land of the milk and honey. World City, eh? You need a passport to get in and out. It doesn't belong to Australia anymore. Although we get certain, certain strong economic privileges for it. But it's not going to work without a balance of pornography and drug wars fucking solved. There's going to be too much fucking lust and incest and fucking filth and too much misunderstanding of the whole story and too much crime and too much negative. Just let the people have the things they like. They've got to work for it, that's all. Obviously, if you don't work for it, there's some control over it. If they don't work for it, well, then they cut them down. And you've got to be fucking... Well, otherwise they're just so fucked up, That's always going to happen too. But, well, then they belong in the arts department, There's fucking millions of miles and streets that need art to be artistically fucking... If they're that fucked in there, no one's that fucked in there, they can't be an artist. When it's the manic depressants, well then, I don't know what to do with them. Fucking just look after them, I suppose. I'm sure there's someone will have the answers. Let's hear it. Let's everyone start voting for World City and put pressure on the governments to do something about it. A city that has representatives of everyone from the world, especially overpopulated areas. And then they say, people don't get on together. The blacks don't get on. We don't get on together. Australians don't get on together. Families don't get on together. There's more people killing each other in their families than there are fucking blacks running around killing whites. The fact is, people aren't going to get on with each other. That's right. But we can do a lot of changes to make them get on a whole lot better. We don't have to be fanning the fire and fueling the situation with hostility and anger and hatred and death and murder. And zero tolerance, like the fucking idiot, zero tolerance. Zero tolerance of politicians. The same boring deaf repetition. Fucking hell. Vote World City.